Terra sanctuary.
Archivist log entry C-0891-F2. 17 years, 146 days after DG-01 defeat. Echoes in the ash. The Aether Wing soared over the dead land, its sleek frame cutting a silent path through the sky as it followed the meandering river below. The landscape stretched endlessly in both directions, an expanse of ashen white where life had once thrived. At the helm, Bones kept the controls steady, eyes scanning the sterile world beneath them. Behind him, Scale sat in the co-pilot seat, watching the barren expanse with an expression unreadable beneath his usual calm. Their mission today was simple, barely more than a favor for the ecology lab. The task? Reach the coordinates and scan for life, if there was any left. Bones already knew what the results would be. He didn't need a scan to tell him there was nothing left. Scale quietly tapped a location on the navigation console and passed it to Bones.
There,
he said, calm and composed. Bones nodded, adjusting the craft's heading before accelerating. The engines hummed, a stark contrast to the absolute silence of the land below. Their descent was smooth, the landing quick yet soft, kicking up only the fine, bone-dry dust that settled back into stillness as soon as they touched down. Unstrapping themselves from their seats, they grabbed the cases containing the scanner and stepped out onto the ground. Bones led the way, boots crunching against the fragile surface, the sound disturbingly similar to footsteps on fresh snow. The world around them was haunting in its stillness. This place was not just lifeless, it was beyond death. Corruption magic had done its work well. There was no rot here, no putrefaction, no return to the cycle of life. The trees, once towering sentinels of nature, had turned to petrified husks, their leaves forever bleached by the sun. The grasses were brittle, crumbling under the faintest touch. Nothing decayed because there was nothing left to consume it. Even the air was empty. No scent of growth or decay. No hidden rustle. Just silence. As if the land itself had been paused forever. Bones adjusted the shoulder strap of his case, forcing down his unease. He had seen this before. It never got easier. Scale followed in silence as they reached the riverbank. Without a word, Bones set his gaze down, crouched, and dipped his canteen into the water, watching the clear liquid swirl inside before raising it to his lips. Scale did the same, and they both drank. The water was crisp, sterile, the safest water in the world. No bacteria, no pollutants, just water stripped of all life, carrying only the minerals of the riverbed. Bones nodded to himself, wiping his mouth with the back of his hand before kneeling down. He opened the cases and began assembling the scanner, working with quiet focus. Behind him, Scale inhaled deeply, testing the air. Bones didn't look up as he asked,
"What does it smell like?"
Scale's face remained impassive.
dry ground, dry plants, nothing else.
Bones frowned as Scale turned away, scanning the skeletal forest beyond the river. The air should have smelled of decay. With so much dead organic material surrounding them, the natural process of decomposition should have been at work, returning nutrients to the soil. But here, in this cursed place, nothing rotted. Decay marked the presence of life, a silent signal that the cycle hadn't fully stopped. Here, even that was gone. He forced his focus back to his task, working in silence as he finished assembling the scanner and powered it on. The machine hummed to life, sending out its invisible pulses in search of anything beyond the two of them. He set an alert for the scan's completion before glancing around for Scale. The other man hadn't wandered far, standing just at the edge of the dead forest, his posture tense, gaze fixed on something unseen. Bones approached, boots crunching against the brittle ground. Scale's face was set in a serious expression, not one of shock, not even sorrow, but something heavier, a quiet, unshakable understanding. Scale was connected to nature in ways Bones never could be. His magic bound him to the land, to its rhythms, its whispers. Even in the wastelands, where no voices remained, Scale could still feel the echoes of what had been lost. Bones thought of speaking, maybe a joke, maybe reassurance, but what was there to say?
Things will get better.
When? In 20 years? 100? They couldn't be sure.
It's not our fault.
So what? It still happened, and they had to deal with it.
It's his fault.
And he was dead and the world was still broken.
But we're still here.
And so is the damage. Survival isn't the same as healing.
We're doing our best.
Maybe, but sometimes the best isn't enough.
At least we stopped him.
Too late. The world paid the price before he fell.
We can rebuild.
With what? Ashes and memories?
It won't always be like this.
Hope is fragile in a place that doesn't even rot. So Bones simply sighed and sat down next to him. Scale also took a seat without a word, and for an hour, they sat in silence. When the alert chimed, announcing the scan's completion, neither of them moved at first. Bones finally broke the silence.
This is why.
Scale let out a quiet hum of agreement.
This is why.
No more needed to be said. They rose, gathering their gear with quiet efficiency. The scanner reported exactly what Bones had expected. No life forms detected besides operators. They packed the device back into its cases before climbing into the Aether wing once more. The short startup sequence played out in practice motions, and soon they were back in the sky. Bones cast a glance at their landing site below. Their footprints, the marks left by the ship, evidence that, for a brief moment, something had stirred in this dead place. A sign that they had been here, a mark that would never fade. He pointed the craft toward Terra's sanctuary, setting course for home.